Welcome to the Ultimate Night Ranger podcast, Fans of Motion. And joining me today, it's been a while since you've seen me, but it's definitely been a while since you've seen the on the screen below me. Everybody, welcome Mr. Ed Ripepi, tour manager for the Ultimate Band Night Ranger. Ed, thank you for jumping back on here with me. How you been, buddy? How you been?
Good. I'm good. I know I haven't seen you for a while
I know as
outside
well.
of
It's
this.
what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks?
Oh
M3?
gosh, that M3 festival. You were the
Yeah.
funniest.
Um,
You walk up to you like, I'm not having fun. This is bullshit.
yeah, well, and it's supposed to be fun, especially for me. Yeah, those shows are something in themselves. And so if I wasn't having fun, I can guarantee you that Ed Repepi was not having fun. But
Well, it's just I think what it is, everybody wants a piece of our guys, and they're so
the
accommodating. And I'm like, I finally walked in the dressing room, I turned the lights off, and everybody's like, "What happened?" And I turned the lights back on, and I'm like, if you don't sign my paycheck, you need to get the hell out of my dressing room because my band's not getting on stage.
well, I
So
know it was after the show, I was standing by the out in the hallway talking to someone, and you're like, "Hey, no one but our crew comes in," and someone was, trying to get past me, and I was like, "Yeah, we're no one's going in," and or I don't think
I'm with him. It doesn't matter.
and I wasn't rude. I was just like, Ed just said, "Hey, just hold off for a while," and he's like, "I'm with blank." And I'm like, it doesn't matter. And he just walked by me and I saw him open the door. I heard you yell at him and he turned around with his tail. And as he walked by, I go, told you. And, it's like, um, so, yeah. But Pat Sajak was there. What about that?
That's pretty cool. I've seen him like 3 or 4 times and I've yet to get a picture with him. I'm like, I
Uh,
want to buy a vowel. I'm sure he's
yeah.
many times, but
Um, yeah. Doing the Night Ranger socials, his daughter posts a lot using like Night Ranger stuff. So I'll share that sometimes um and I didn't know she was a celebrity like herself. Like
is she a
uh
model or I'm not sure what she is.
well, I just happened to be talking to someone I work with and I mentioned Pat Sajak and like yeah, her daughter was there and like, oh Maggie. And like they went off about her. And I was like, well, how do you know her? And she does like, she co-hosts
Sweet.
I don't know, a whole
All
bunch of
about it.
shows and stuff like that. But anyways, um, she had wished her mom a happy birthday a week or so prior to that and used a Night Ranger song. So on the socials, I had replied back, happy birthday, mom, from Night Ranger. And
Well, she's a
yeah,
singer. I can tell you that much according to Google.
and so anyways, I did meet and talk to her and her mom. Um,
Nice.
so you know, uh, but yeah, Pat Sajak, 77 years old.
Wish I looked
Uh,
like him at 77. Wish I looked like him at 57.
yeah, he and they announced the date, June 7th. They've already recorded his last show, but his last show airs on June 7th. I think it's a Friday.
Okay.
So there you go. Not only do you get your hot Night Ranger talk, but you get your Wheel of Fortune talk.
Who needs People Magazine when you have Ed and Josh?
I know. And that's what's kind of, you know, it's a little melancholy, I guess, because when I saw Pat Sajak there, I thought, wow, this would be so cool to like tell my grandpa
Hmm.
who passed away 4 years ago. Um, it's kind of like, oh man, that would have been, he would just enjoyed that because my whole life, I just remember being, if I was over there in the evenings,
7 o'clock,
he
ABC.
he was watching Wheel of Fortune. And so, I thought of that and, um, I was like, I wonder, I'm sure people tell him, but it's weird just what pops in your memory or what pops in your head when, I've never thought, I'd be thinking of my grandfather in all that chaos of the
Hmm.
backstage of M3. But very cool to see Pat Sajak there. Night Ranger went on right before um who was it? Brett
Right.
Michaels.
Hmm.
So um shitty weather. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
that
like
that constant mist just drove me nuts all day.
I mean Jack was probably in right at home living, where he's at. He probably didn't even think he flew anywhere.
Yeah.
Um but and but yeah, that was my first M3. Um that place has a lot of history. I don't know if you saw that tour calendar in the back. Like they have a like an advertisement of all the acts that
Right.
were, coming up the
Right.
summer of '69. I literally could time travel back and just for 2 months just live at that place. And it's so great. It's like Janis Joplin one night, and then Pink Floyd, and then the Temptations, and um, so that place has definitely got the history. And um, other than that, I mean, it was a cool
Well, I remember
place.
being there when it was the backstage wasn't as opulent as it was now, where it was like little construction trailers kind of connected to each other.
Okay.
And now it's gorgeous. I mean, pool, jacuzzi, that
Yeah.
whole patio. I mean, it's gorgeous. I
Yeah.
mean, the amount of, I mean, that is a dream for a tour manager because the amount of dressing rooms and quality dressing rooms. I mean, it's truly one of the nicest venues I've ever played in.
Yeah.
Tour.
Um, it could only for having that many people back there, it could have definitely been worse. You know,
Yes,
uh, I was a little disappointed that there was nobody passed out in the pool the whole time. It's like if this was 1985, you could have
right.
sat back here and played dead or passed out. Uh, and uh,
Yeah.
not one time. My money would have been on like on the Faster Pussycat guys, like one of them just drinks too much and passes out in the pool, but not a single rocker. I was
No,
like, no, like, listen, you're all fake unless you're
they're
in
all
that
old
pool.
now, man. They're all laid back.
Well, that's another thing too, is like seeing everybody, you can see who hasn't reached that limit yet, who is still hanging out, doing the thing,
Right.
and who, after they're set, you see them 30 minutes later with their suitcase behind them, wheeling it out. They're like, yeah, that guy's been doing it for 50 years. He's done. Um,
It's funny you say that because, like, I mean, we come with our full arsenal. We came with the semi, and I mean, we have seven of us. We had you there. We had Frank there. So I mean, like, we had an arsenal, and Brett has a big camp as well. But I mean, we pulled in with that semi, and I saw the fans in motion, people putting it up on the pages, and it's arrived and all that kind of stuff. It's almost like we need a name for it, But
yeah.
regardless, um,
Yeah.
like some bands are like, hey, can your tech fix this real quick? Because I don't know what to do, And I know Darren helped the guys out at Striper. I
Yeah.
think so
Well,
because the humidity, right? And the bending of the
so
fretboard and
what
all that.
what was it?
Something with it was so
Yeah.
sticky. I think you just had to put a little sand on paper on it and
Uh,
spray
I
the
can't remember who it was that came
thing.
up to me, but it was obviously someone in the striper camp,
It
or
was
and they
Michael Sweet.
came up to me, or no, maybe it was Brad and Michael came up to me and asked me one where something was. I was standing at Darren's rig just because it was a nice safe place to get out of the way of
Right.
everybody. And Brad asked me, like, do you know where this oil or something is? And I'm like, I look at him like with that look, like that is the dumbest thing you like. I don't know none of this shit. You want me working
Yeah.
on people's guitars? So I
Here's a pair
ran,
of pliers.
you know, uh, so I ran. I think I found Angela. Then I found Darren. He was in the dressing room, and then grabbed him.
Yeah.
And then yeah. So they made a video of it. I think Michael Sweet
Right.
posted it
Yep.
of them working on the fretboard. Um, yeah. Mark Striegel, who hosts Ozzy's Boneyard, um, Saturday he sent me a photo, and of this of the tractor trailer
Mhm.
backing in, and he's like, "Look who arrived," or something like that. I was like, I go, "Jump in the back, get yourself a guitar if you want." Um, but people love
Wave
that.
to the cameras on the truck.
uh, people love that.
Oh, it's
Um,
got its own life.
yeah, and it looks sharp.
Yeah.
It's there's not a lot of stuff going on. It's just that jet black with that logo, and I took a photo of it. I don't know where the hell we were at a racetrack, horse track, wherever that was at. Not too long ago, but um of it, out there in the lot. And I was going through my photos. I saw that. I'm like, damn, it just it's so sharp looking. I got to figure it out for something. And I
Mhm.
sent it to Kelly, and we used it on Kelly's socials. So,
Yeah. I
uh,
know Wayne's our driver. He's like, I pull into a Love's just to get gas, and everybody wants to talk to me and this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, we
uh,
created this monster, so you got to ride it. So,
I know me and Brad were working on a post one time with it, and I don't know if we ever kind of put that line in there. We were kind of going back and forth, but talking about the guys being in that trailer, like part of the equipment, like Brad saying something like, "This is awesome. Just I wish they had put windows in here for us," or something like that. But
right.
speaking of tractor trailers, so Night Ranger had one back, in the heyday back in '85. If you watch maybe the music video for Goodbye, at the very end, I think it shows the trailer door shutting and it having the Night Ranger logo on the back of the doors.
Hmm.
Um, W. Ryan Fairman or whatever the last name is, but my buddy from I think Northern Ohio, who's at a lot of shows, he was telling me at the last show I was with him that back in the 90s he was a truck driver out on the road, and there's a trailer in front of him, and he was looking at it, and he could see where the outline of Night Ranger used to be on that trailer.
Really?
And this is like 92, 93, I think he said. So he's like, holy shit. So back then obviously you don't have a cell phone or anything to take a
Right.
picture of it. And he said, I doubt that trailer was even around 2 years later because it was in bad shape when I saw it on the road. But
Right.
it was kind of cool just to think, that, you know, I like that story just hearing it was
Yeah.
still on
No
the
doubt.
road in the
We
90s.
got to
But
come up with a name.
yeah, there we go.
Name of the
So you
semi.
guys, um,
Put it
uh,
out there.
yeah, hopefully if you guys would keep that neon green bus, because we could come up with a name too. People like that for the short amount of time you guys had it.
No, don't
Um,
worry. We have the crew has a name for it already.
hopefully you guys get that one
It'll be
again.
back. It'll be back for the summer.
And and those, I mean, I guess we should at least bring it up since everybody is, Carrie's doing fine. There's also, he
He's fine. There's no
he
broken leg, no
he
broken ankle, nothing.
fell. Um, now I don't know if I told you, and I'm not showing anybody. Um,
You did.
I took a picture of Carrie. I didn't really realize at the time. But uh, after the show, I was like, I think I was, because I saw it perfectly, and I was like, well, I think I was taking pictures when I was doing that. I have a picture of mid-fall. I'll show people. Oh, it's great. I won't get it out there, but I'll get me a few beers. I might let you see it because it's worth it. Um, but everything's fine with him. Obviously, you guys played the maybe 2 weeks later
Stop.
last weekend in Woodstock.
Yeah. What
Um,
a great venue. What a fun place.
Dude, there was so much action on the social media sites. People adding Night Ranger, following them,
Right.
posting their own photos and tagging Night Ranger. The night before, it's like one of these communities that, I think they had like a summer concert series where they add, so many bands throughout the summer and the community can go for free. Like they were setting up lawn chairs the night before.
Oh yeah.
Like they were posting photos,
Yeah.
like saving their spots. And um, so those shows, it seems like, they can either be a disaster or sometimes you get those magical
Mainly
moments.
they're fun. Those city shows like
Yeah,
that, it's a great time.
yeah.
Cool venue
So
too.
yeah.
I was
Uh,
literally I was literally in a broom closet. Literally, my office was a broom closet. I swear to God.
well,
So,
they need to contact the M3 Merriweather
oh yeah,
Pavilion
no doubt.
guys and redo that.
Yeah,
So so yeah, so again, there's not a lot of Night Ranger news. I mean, really, it's just a heavy touring
yeah,
season coming up. I mean, there is a break in September and some of October. Jack is going back to Japan to do the Tak Matsumoto Group. Um, it's him, Eric Martin on vocals, uh, Jack playing bass. I think what Matt Sorum is
Matt
Matt
Sorum.
Sorum's
Yeah,
doing
Matt Sorum's a
drums,
drummer.
which
Yep, Matt
he
Sorum.
wasn't there originally.
No,
I think on that record was Brian Tichy, who has played with everybody. Most recently, probably the Dead Daisies. I think he's playing with
didn't
someone.
Chris Frazier play on the tour?
I don't know.
I think it was
That's
Chris
20,
Frazier from Florida played
20,
on the tour.
20 years ago, so I
Yeah,
barely remember what I just told you.
right.
Um, but anyway, so new album, I'm pretty sure. And I think they're going to do a handful of dates in Japan.
Right.
Nothing in the
Yep.
United States, but um,
Yeah.
listen, you got a lot of Night Ranger coming up anyways, so
Yeah, I got the map in front of me here. I just
yeah.
uploaded it. So,
So a lot of shows that are going on sale have been or are going on
right.
sale or that are just going on sale. Um, and Ed, you might have a more updated list than I, but we'll kind of go through them.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Okay.
going on. Kannapolis, North Carolina, June 1st. Hopefully
Right.
release this episode before that so
Right.
we don't look like dummies. But Shake Your Pee Pee, Minnesota. I'm sure I'm not the first to say that. Um,
Yeah.
you got that.
Asbury Park.
So there's a lot of 3-day weekends,
Right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, or Friday, Saturday, Sundays.
Right.
And then you guys are filling in a lot of these with Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday dates. So, you got the Shakopee, Minnesota, Madison, Wisconsin, and Joliet, Illinois, Friday,
Right.
Saturday,
Right.
Sunday. And then after those three shows, you guys jump on a tour with REO Speedwagon.
Yeah. What a
Um,
great team they are.
mhm.
And we advanced all the shows this week, and Mike is their production manager, and it's just what a great they're a great team. It's like working with us all over again.
And um,
Joe,
God, those
Lincoln,
guys,
yeah,
they're what celebrating their 50th anniversary if they go back that far because a lot of people don't know that Kevin Cronin wasn't their original
remember
singer.
right? You know
And
what's crazy? They have a diamond record. Like High Fidelity is a dime, 10 million sold.
yeah,
And I remember hearing that from Eddie Trunk one day. 10 million sold.
mhm.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
I love that
they
album. That's a great album too.
the one of those bands that kind of I won't say slowly came up, but you had obviously the stuff they were doing before Kevin Cronin joined them, which they weren't nationally big, um, but then you had you can tune a guitar, but you can't tune a fish. You had some of those
Right,
records, Take It on the Run, Roll with the Changes, and then
right.
obviously
Time for Me to
just
Fly and all
yeah,
that. Yeah.
and those two ballads, man, that just those that really put them.
Right.
And I mean, even when
So,
I was I talk about it all the time, being a fan when I was 6 years old of Night Ranger, for my Christmas when I was six, so the Christmas of 83, Christmas 84, maybe I was seven, but like I asked for Night Ranger, Dawn Patrol, Midnight Madness, but I asked for like four other albums, and one of them wasn't High Fidelity, but Wheels Are Turning by
mhm,
REO Speedwagon. So even my little punk ass was, you know, contributing to the REO Speedwagon phase. So
right.
there you got, what is it, six states?
Yeah, so
Um,
Fargo, Lincoln, Nebraska, Kearney, Nebraska, Kansas City, Missouri, Des Moines, Iowa, and then Camdenton, Missouri.
So there you go. If you like REO Speedwagon, Night Ranger, and a shit ton of cornfields, um, well, maybe not Fargo. I don't know. But I don't know if there's cornfields in Fargo. Someone get
Last time
back
I
to
was
me
in
on that.
Fargo, it was negative 14 degrees.
So yeah, it's kind of weird you guys going to Fargo and it's not being February.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
I
And then we
always
have a
thought
little break for the end of the month of June and then Independence holiday weekend. And then we start over again. You may not have this one, Greenvale,
I have that.
Long Island. You have it?
That has not gone on sale yet.
Okay. Well, we
So
can talk.
so
It's confirmed, so no big deal.
yeah, there you go. If
Yeah.
it hasn't been announced yet, you're getting a little bit of
Brookville, Greenvale, New York, Upper State, like Long Island area. We're
and I
playing at
don't
the Tile Center at the Performing Arts Center at Long Island University.
and I don't want to hear any more shit from people about Night Ranger and New York and the East Coast.
Boston. Ed, it's your fault we're not in Boston like I
Well,
shows.
listen, it is your fault. You know,
Last
the
time I checked, I'm not employed by CAA, so I'm sorry.
uh, but yeah, you got Wednesday the 10th. You got Greenvale, New York,
Yep.
Nichols, New York, Vernon, New York. I
That's
think
Syracuse
Vernon's
area, I think, is what
yeah,
the
Vernon. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know about Nichols, but Morristown, New Jersey.
So it's I think it's like a little outside of Newark area.
Yeah. Um, you know, Ed's probably got some sanitation contacts there. Um, Morristown. Um,
You know about
uh,
Selbyville?
that one's out there. All these are out there except for Greenville,
Yeah,
Selbyville, Delaware. Is this your first Delaware date with Night Ranger?
it might be.
I want to say Delaware was the only state maybe Levy said he had played. So
Really?
this might be
Yeah.
knocking off his
And I'm like, Delaware, isn't that like up there? And I'm like, oh shit, that's next to Baltimore. Never mind.
yeah.
Next to Maryland and Ocean City.
Well,
So
all those weird, shaped states, it's like, you can like Maryland's not that big and you can at some places enter Maryland and be out within 15 minutes. Or if you hit it the right way, drive right across the Mason-Dixon line there,
yeah,
you can be in driving through Maryland for 3 hours.
yeah.
Um, but then
Louisville?
yeah, Louisville, that's the first time I think you guys have been in Louisville for a while.
Nope.
Palace,
We were there. We
is
were
that like the for
there
the fair or something?
20 we were there 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago we were there.
Why the hell was I out there? That would
I
have
don't
been
know. I remember going to the Louisville Slugger Museum with everybody. But yeah, we were there 2 years ago.
that was I think the state fair. I think I skipped that one
Okay.
because I remember Kelly. A lot of people don't know Kelly's brother played minor league baseball,
Yep. Yep.
and he had a Louisville Slugger, or they made some
Yeah, they
bats
made
for
that.
him.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're going back to Kettering
The
for
phrase pavilion. I need
yeah,
you guys. Listen, I don't give a fuck if you're 5 hours away, 2 hours away, 6 hours away, 7 hours away. Make it to that show. Um, I will hook you up with Ed. You will get all the photos you want with Ed. Ed will rub your back, everything, because I told a certain person um, in said band that they are going to sell this pavilion out. And that said person did not believe me. So um, don't leave me hanging, people. It's going to be a great show. Ed will give you back rubs.
no,
So, and the Phrase Pavilion is a great place. It's kind of like a little bit reminds me of the Merriweather Pavilion, where you're right in the middle, where Merriweather's kind of like businesses. You're in
right,
this business district, and all of a sudden, right smack dab in the middle is a amphitheater. The
right.
Phrase, you could be in someone's yard and cross the street, and you're in that park that has the
Yeah.
Phrase amphitheater in it. So.
Yeah, we have some work to do on sales on that, so we should push that one.
Um, but it's selling out. It's selling good. I mean, there's only a couple sections of seats left, and then obviously it has a huge lawn area.
Right.
So,
Okay.
um, and I think it's like the radio station there. I can't think off the
Yeah,
top of my head. They're doing a 3-day event there. So if you
correct.
go Friday, you can go. Now, listen,
I'm
If
looking
I
at
find if I find out you go Saturday to go see Richard Marx and Rick Springfield and you don't go Friday, I'm gonna hunt you down. But Saturday night, Rick Springfield, Richard Marx, and I think Sunday is Ed's favorite, Wilson Phillips. Um,
tell anybody.
just
Trying to
hold
see
on.
what. Yeah, it's a music festival. I know that.
I
A
think they're
radio
gonna
station.
I think they're gonna have like local, maybe some of the top
Yeah,
local
I'm
acts
looking here,
there.
trying to see where it is again. But yeah, it's definitely a music festival with the FM radio station up there. Yeah, I can't see it from here. Sorry, I tried. Anyways,
Well, listen, the thing is, all you need to know is Night Ranger's going to be there.
yep.
Ed's giving back
So
rubs.
then we have a couple days off. That is not giving back rubs.
Ed's giving back rubs.
Um, then we go to Ottumwa, Iowa. Say
That
that
is,
five times.
I listen, of all the Atumwas that are out there in the United States, that one in Iowa is my favorite.
It's
The
a it's a bicycle festival. It comes like a Velisano
the
bike race. It's like five different cities, and this is the final one. We're playing at the Bridgeview Center there.
All right, so there you
Yeah,
go. If you like bikes and you like bicycles, and Night Ranger,
yeah.
Thursday, July 25th at the Bridgeview Center.
And then we're
Um,
playing Managa
Minnesota.
Music
I
Festival.
think Minnesota is giving Ohio and Wisconsin a good run for their money. I mean, you guys are in Minnesota a fucking lot.
Yeah,
Sterling Heights, Michigan.
suburb of
Um,
Detroit.
is
That's going
that?
to be a big one. That's another one of those big city
I was
festivals.
going to say, I think that's
Be
a
packed.
free show,
Where
right?
that's some serious, yeah, that's some serious logistics there, boy.
Um, so Saturday. So there you go. I mean, if you're up
Yeah.
in that area, you got and that's a little bit of a haul too. I mean, from Minnesota to Michigan, right? I mean,
We're gonna see how
uh,
good that American Express is.
all right. Uh, and then
Night
close.
Ranger One this might be flying across the sky that day.
Well, give me a six pack. I'll fly that fucker. Um,
Then
was
we have a couple days off, and then Wausau, Wisconsin, at the Wisconsin Valley Fair.
I don't know anything about that.
Yes.
Is it close to what is it Wisconsin Dells?
No, I don't think so.
No,
Give me a minute.
because Wisconsin Dells you guys like to go to, and no, I never get any photos of you guys at the water parks.
Well, you know, I gotta watch what I show in my banana hammock. I want to say the closest place to Wausau. Good Lord. Um, I mean, we're slightly north and west of Green Bay. That's all I can
Right,
tell you.
there you go. So if you like Night Ranger and seeing people that wear cheese on their head,
Yes.
that's the place to go. And then you got like 3 days in a row there. You got
Yeah.
Nashville, Indiana at the Brown Country.
Yep. We played there
Yeah,
before.
yeah, that's
Brown County Music Center.
and they got always got a lot of acts there. And then
A nice venue.
one that I'm looking forward to is Friday, uh August 2nd, Plymouth, Indiana, which I think is like maybe the northeast section, maybe right around South Bend. Am I right on
I want
that?
to say it's west of
Or maybe
Fort Wayne. I know for a
okay.
fact it's west. I just
So
started
maybe
going.
it's between Fort Wayne and South Bend there.
Mm,
Anyways, Plymouth,
yeah.
Indiana, Plymouth Speedway. You got four bands. Let's see if I remember. Enough's Enough, Firehouse, Jackal, and Night Ranger. So
I don't see that, but you're probably on the right track. I
uh
don't see.
I
Oh,
mean
in track Speedway. See how I do that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's those four bands. As far as I know, I mean, Firehouse has announced that they're kind of keeping the guy who's been singing with them for a while, um, since CJ Snare has passed. So
I
I
have
think
Slaughter on mine, but I think Slaughter may have had canceled. I'm not sure. I don't
the
know.
the only advertisements that have been out there and they've
Right.
stayed constantly the same. It's been
Okay.
um, Fire or Enough's Enough, Firehouse, Jackal,
Okay.
and Night Ranger. So,
All right.
anyways,
Yep.
all that matters is Night Ranger's there, and everything else is bonus
Right.
points.
Then we have a couple days off, and then we head to the West Coast. Well, we go to Reno first, then to the
Yeah.
West.
I don't think that Reno date's been announced yet.
That
Um,
one's Hot August Nights. That's a big festival. Dave said that he's done that a few times with Dennis Young back in the day, and it's going to be a big place. It's going to be a big show.
Never been to Reno.
Yeah, the Grand Sierra Resort.
And then Sacramento,
Yep,
two
at
days
the Hard
later
Rock.
on the 11th in Wheatland,
It's
California.
so nice going to the Hard Rocks. They're so put together and
Hmm.
awesome. Yep. Then a couple days off, and then we go to Hot Springs, Arkansas. And
Listen,
that might be another one that's not.
that is a water park. You're playing a massive water park there. So, pack the guitars, pack the amps, pack the banana hammock, um,
Mhm.
because that's
Yep.
a a big water park. Everybody's going to be getting ready to go back to school and wanting to hit, you know, little
Right.
kids are going to be like, "Mom, I want to go swimming and I want to see Night Ranger," and it's going to be packed. Then you got a few days off, and then
Nope. Nope.
Thursday.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Oh, what do you got? You got something new for me? Exclusive.
Brandon, Mississippi.
Ah, dude, I tell you what,
8/18/24.
that's the population.
City, no, that's the date. Yep. City Hall Live, it's called.
When is that? 18th?
8/18. Yep. August 18th.
Brandon, Mississippi.
Brandon.
Whatever.
I'm not sure where that's
Mississippi.
at.
You know, I got a contract from 1984, 1985 with Night Ranger. I don't have the full contract. I think there's a few pages missing, but in that contract from 84 in Mississippi, they still had language about segregation that
It's
you,
due east of Jackson.
all right. So listen, it's been a while. I mean, Night Ranger's been hitting, and we're going to talk about it. But Night Ranger played Alabama for the first time in a long time.
Ooh, I got a surprise for you.
Yeah, we got but this is the first Mississippi in a while. So there you go.
Yep.
Um, you know,
Yep. Then
uh,
we go to Chattanooga.
that has just been announced. It goes
Yep.
on sale soon,
August 20th.
20th.
Yep.
So
And Branson, Missouri.
so there you go. Branson is that's the Retro Rewind Fest
Yes.
or so Retro Mania.
Retromania.
It's like a 3-day event. I think Night Ranger's playing the first night, but it's a very eclectic lineup. I mean, Bobby Brown's there, Pauly Shore. Um, I know Vince Neil is closing a night.
I don't know who's playing with us that day.
Hopefully Bobby Brown.
I'm trying to look here. Yeah. Um, I know Lou Graham is playing and us. We're closing the show, I believe. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, we might be. It's kind of up in the air. I'm not sure. Does say Lou Graham and Night Ranger. I know that.
Well, that would be I think if I was Lou Graham, I'd want to go on first, but that's just me. Um,
He is. And then here's the one you're looking forward to. I know you are.
well, I am,
Memphis,
but
Tennessee.
at the Graceland stage, and a lot of people, I mean, I've probably mentioned it before, a big Elvis fan, 70s Elvis specifically, but I do a baseball trip every year with my buddies, and we're talking about 2 weeks. Before this Graceland was announced,
Mhm.
we had picked Memphis as our, the AAA
Oh,
team there.
nice.
So I don't know if we're still up in the air of where we're going, but that was like the number one place. But if not, you may see me there with my Elvis shades.
Oh, I can't wait.
But
And then
um,
Montgomery, Alabama. You know about that one?
that one I think just was announced
Okay.
um, today. Is that the
Montgomery
20,
Performing Arts, 24th.
the
And then the
20?
25th, we go to Gatlinburg.
So you got 4 days in a row. And what? That's not, and then what? 5 out of 6 days?
Yeah,
I
then we
mean,
have 2 days off. And then
that's,
Canton, Ohio, coming back to my hometown area. Well, I shouldn't say my
yeah.
hometown, but going
So
back to the
Canton, Ohio at the Stark County Fair. That's
right.
Wednesday, the 28th.
Yep.
Where the hell did my September go?
And don't worry, there's nothing there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So then, that's where Jack is going over to Japan, doing the stuff with Tak. But everything kicks back off middle of October. They just announced this show today.
Yep.
Um, you
2 shows
guys
in a
are,
row.
yeah,
Harris, Michigan.
Harris, Michigan, the Island Resort and Casino, all the way up in the upper, um, so upper Michigan,
Yeah.
in the
UP.
peninsula there.
Yep.
And 2 nights. So listen, bang for your buck, man. Just you go up there and you can enjoy Night Ranger not only Friday, but Saturday night. And
Right.
with the way you guys are, who knows, you might throw in another date in there around it as well. And
And
then
then
the
we have a private event in on the 25th, and then on the 26th we play Orange Park, Florida. I believe that's kind of up by Jacksonville area.
26th October, Orange Park, Florida. That one's not
Yeah.
been announced yet. And then in November, the next ones I got are the 14th.
Yeah, there's some stuff brewing. It's not confirmed yet, so I'm not going to tell you about those. But
Uh,
um, what is it? Auburn, Washington, Toppenish, Washington, and Boise, Idaho.
the only one that's been announced of that is the Boise, Idaho. So keep an eye out. Night Ranger's not been really up in Washington too much. So you're going to have two back-to-back shows in the
Casino
Wash
resorts.
Washington area.
Yep.
Um, then the following weekend, again, another 3 day.
Anaheim, Chandler, and Prim, Nevada.
Um, so yeah, you got basically Anaheim, LA, um, Chandler, Arizona, which I mean, you guys are in Phoenix basically every 6 months.
Mhm.
Uh, Prim, Nevada. Where's Prim at?
Prim is like due west of Las Vegas, I believe.
And then we've got a couple shows early December. Neither of those have been announced. I got the 5th and the 6th.
Bloomington and St. Louis.
So you got two shows there that have not been announced yet, but will be soon. I think this is the first St. Louis proper that you guys have played in a while. Everything's been right outside St. Louis. Um,
Didn't
and
we
then
play
well,
yeah, you're right.
we
We
stayed in St.
yeah,
Louis,
that's
but
right.
we
Yeah.
played maybe 40 minutes outside
Yeah.
at that. That was a big show too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Brett, right?
No, it was just Night Ranger. It was a veteran thing because
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called, but
Yep. Great place. I
yeah,
remember the guy was great, man.
yeah.
Uh,
Um,
just to retract, Prim is southwest of Las Vegas, not west.
okay. Um, and then the last two shows I got on my list are the 13th and 14th, both with Brett Michaels,
Correct.
both
It's
in
Arrow and
Florida.
Clearwater. Yep.
And I would assume that somewhere, in December or January, you would start scheduling your annual Wisconsin and North Dakota dates in there somewhere because you guys love to go as north as you can
Hmm.
um, in those cold months. So there you go. Listen, um, I mean, I would say Night Ranger's playing within 5 hours of a lot of places. So listen, you're still young. You can hop in a car, you can drive 5 hours. I would even say venture you're probably within 3 hours in a lot of places. I mean, for Christ's sake, they're in Brandon, Mississippi. It's like,
Right.
um, you know, uh, so
Yep. So it's
you,
good. Good amount of shows, and
so is there more shows this year or last year? Do you have a count? Do you know off the top of your head?
probably more shows this year.
I would say, like, and that's saying something because you guys are taking off basically 2 months. I mean, you had a little bit of break there in April,
Right.
um, and you've had a little bit of a break here in May,
Right.
um, and then you obviously got September and October.
Right.
Um, so yeah, so there you go.
Yep.
All your
Great.
Night Ranger tour information.
Shenanigans. Right.
And then, like I said, there's really nothing else. I mean, Night Ranger's just really hitting the road this year besides that Jack stuff. I mean, the only thing I can really tell you is, you know, Kelly has some movement on some things, and, you know, Brad's always working on a solo record. I don't know what the latest update on it is. But oh, what about this? Look at this.
I saw you wear that at M3 and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's
And I don't
creating a
know
monster.
if you can
Look
see
at
this or
that,
not.
huh?
There we go. You know, stay tuned to Fans in Motion. We might put those up for sale. You never know. But I remember I forget who I was with, but Eric's in the dressing room talking to someone, and whoever he was talking to saw my shirt and was like, "Hey, that's a cool shirt." I was like, I go, it is. I was like, I looked at Eric. I was like, "Do you see anybody here at this venue at all wearing a Brad Gillis shirt?" And Eric's like, "No." I was like, "Do you see anybody wearing a Jack Blade shirt?" No. And I went through everybody. It's like, but you see anybody wearing an Eric Levy shirt? And but yeah, it was one of those things Masa, my buddy Masa designed it and I threw it, the logos on a shirt just kind of as a lark, just as load in and just everybody liked it and I think I got so busy whereas like well, I'm not changing it and
Yeah.
everybody likes it and um so but there we go. So maybe some movement in the Eric Levy camp with some of that stuff and uh Eric's on the Ross Valerie record that
Yep.
is out there. I don't have my kid this weekend. It's the first weekend in a while. And I plan on listening to it the the way that it was intended by Ross and Eric, which is a little bit of mind altering, right? Like, I'm sure you're not supposed to listen to that record sober at all. I'm sure it wasn't recorded that way and not intended to be listened to that way. So we'll see. I'll give you two reviews. Um, but
Sober and not sober.
um, it's not really. It's only digital. There's no physical copies. So. Yeah, I am giving him shit on that and trying to get him and Ross on the podcast. I got some Night Ranger collectibles here to show you, Ed. You want to see the first one?
Sure.
Of course you do. Here's your here's two of your bosses. Um this is 1978.
Oh, good Lord. There's Brad.
I've shown this before. There's Bradley.
Yeah.
You got Jerry Martini from Slide in the Family Stone. There's old Max. He passed away about 20 years ago. There's Eckler, who was one of the first guys we had on our podcast to interview, who passed away a couple years ago. Dennis Marcelino just passed last year, but there's your buddy Jack, Jimmy Pugh, and there's Brad. So, anyways, I show this every now and then. I come across it. Just your sheet music.
Oh, yeah.
This was their one and only hit, written by Max Haskett. I'm going to take care of everything. Made it to like number 39, so it wasn't a smash or anything, but it cracked the top 40. So
Nice.
um, and I'm sure, just like the first time I listened to that Ross Valerie album, I'm sure they are all sober in that photo too.
Sure.
You know,
I think I
night,
got anything for you.
sure you do.
I really don't.
Well, I
I don't.
do have this. I picked this up not too long ago. This is a cloth laminate or whatever you want to call them, a cloth pass for an individual show at the Hangtown Dance. I forget where this was at. KNVR 97. So here is an early all access cloth pass for this individual show in
Who gave
19.
you that?
I found it on eBay somewhere, I think. Wednesday, April 27th, Acker Gym. So wherever the hell that is. Night Ranger with the electric toys. But there you
Wow,
go.
Electric Toys. God, I haven't heard about that name in a long time.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Something a little one show uniqueness. Um, I know you like this. So this is the Japanese tour book from 1986.
Ooh, wow.
If you would have ever told me back in 1986 as an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old that,
Blowing your
eventually,
kid's college education on shit like this.
true. I've had this for a while. Um, that one day, if I could pick to dress like any of these guys,
Brad.
it would be Fitz. Back
Oh,
then it
there you
was,
go.
I mean, back then it was, oh, I want to be like, Brad, or I want to wear what Jeff's wearing. But now, it's like I'm pretty,
Hey, why not?
yeah, I'm pretty sure if I'm not going to stand out in today's society,
There you go.
but there's the back. Those bumblebee pants are in the Japanese Tokyo Hard Rock Cafe. I don't know if there's any really good unique photos out there. I'm sure there is, but
Right.
um,
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I got nothing here, man. I'm getting boring.
there you
Yeah,
go.
I got nothing.
An outfit you don't see Brad in too often, the red checkers.
All right. Kelly looks like he's got a pair of Zubas on.
Kelly said if he could still get away with wearing that shit, he would. He said it was the most comfortable outfit that you
Did
could
you
wear. You could
have you
wear on
showed him
stage.
that?
Oh yeah, we've talked about the pajamas outfit. Um,
My
and I was hoping there would be Jeff's marching band outfit, but I don't see that in there at all. But
right,
there we go. Now these pants here, um, there's white ones with black, and then there's these turquoise one with black. Uh, we had a young lady on, Melissa Gong. I interviewed her on the podcast. She was at the Hearts Away video shoot somewhere, San Bernardino, I don't know, somewhere in California. So this was the Big Life record, 87. And they had a couple contests where, because they had to sit there all day while they
right.
changed stuff and film. And she won those pants and she still has them. And so she has a picture and, she's, uh, she was tiny back then. She's still tiny, but she was tiny back then to where, surprisingly enough, she could fit into Jack's pants, Jack not being a very big guy to begin with. So she changed into him at the show. And after the show, she got pictures of her,
Wow.
Jack's kind of,
Yeah.
pointing to him and
Wow.
stuff. So she's
That's
still
crazy.
got them. I keep telling her, um, when you guys are in California to let me know and I'll, get a hold of you and try to hook her up to where she could, I think the guys, I think
Yeah.
Jack would get a kick to,
Yeah,
because
definitely. That'd be fun.
they're iconic. He's wearing
Yeah.
them in most of the videos and stuff like that. And we also learned from the episode where the shirt went for Brad's Bumblebee outfit. We knew the pants were in Tokyo.
Hmm.
There's no shirt there in Tokyo, and she said they gave away the pants and they gave away Brad's shirt. And I was like, you know who it was? And she's like, I remember the guy, because I saw, we all, we were all fans from San
Right.
Francisco and knew each other. And, but she didn't have any way of knowing, in
Hmm.
contact with him. So, but there
Well,
you go. And then the
pretty
one
well.
last item we got here is, the Album Network. So this was a magazine kind of for people in the radio biz, but a
Hmm.
very rare Shaw Blades cover
Oh, nice.
from 1995. So there weren't a lot of album covers that they were obviously on back then, but there
Perfect.
is, it gives you a little bit of, I'll just throw it up here real quick. I don't know, it's somewhere up there, but it gives you like they're number 19. It tells you 151 stations added and where their spikes are and what stations and
Right.
their heavy plays and stuff like that. And then there is a photo of them with like the Warner Brothers guys and a pretty decent interview, but like I said, just very rarely do you have a Shaw Blades
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
magazine cover. So there you go for those that like that kind of stuff and but Ed, you disappoint me, man. And usually you're just pulling stuff around here. I don't even know why I asked you to come on. I could have just grabbed the
Wow.
Yahoo down the street there.
Wow. I don't have anything. I don't have. I've
So
showed you all my collectibles.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure some fun stuff to get fans of motion and you and the band, some contest or something, get some fun
Yeah,
things
I'm looking
going
here. I got
around.
nothing.
I do remember what show was we at? Was that weird horse track show where the band was like over the concourse? Remember, it was basically like the front row was right on stage, whatever that show was.
Yes.
Uh, um,
And then Brad
uh,
decides to go jump in the audience. I used all my old football techniques to jump over everybody.
uh, where the
What
hell
was
was that?
that?
Kentucky?
I'm
No,
getting there. Hold on.
no, it was in northern Indiana, or it was somewhere in Indiana.
Anderson, Indiana.
All right.
Who's your
Yes.
partner?
Yes. So it was the same place where we had that cool theater, but this was down the road some. All right. So what the hell? Oh, we were standing side stage or whatever you want to call it.
You were standing on stage.
Uh it turned out to be a cool like a good
Yeah.
show. I think the
Oh, it
guys
was a
were
great show.
and just a very I felt bad for the people that thought they were buying front row seats and they were, except they were all the way down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and the stage was like 20 yards away. But anyways, uh, what the hell was I getting on with that show? Oh, we were standing there and I was pointing to you all the fans in motion shirts. There's a lot of big fans in motion contingent there. And I just remember being with you, just pointing to all the fans in motion shirts. And, that was kind of a cool moment. But, how do you like your, speaking of fans
Oh,
in
dude, let me tell you. I know you posted it on social media, but I am going to tell you that is the most comfortable shirt I've ever worn. It really is. I wear it all the time to bed. It's so comfortable. It's not a sales pitch. I'm being serious.
It is very soft.
Yeah.
I think like the only thing is it's white uh
Yeah.
and I personally
Why I don't wear it in public.
I'm not
There's
a big
snowball.
uh um I I don't this isn't like the material I like, but yes, it is one of the softest shirts out there. Look at that,
Yeah.
always on tour. So I am sold out of small, medium, and extra large. So Ed,
Nice.
I maybe will throw you a couple more. So for the next years, you have your comfy shirt at night, and
Love it. I'll take one of those extra smalls.
yeah, there you go. I'll bring a shoehorn too,
Yeah.
uh, and I'll hook you up. But yeah, I still got large, 2X and 3X. So $25.
Right.
That covers everything, just shipping
Yep.
included, and I'll throw in a fans in motion sticker you can put on your neighbor's car or whatever. Um, but yeah, so what else we got? Anything we think
You
of
know,
for
one thing I wanted to say on a serious note, I've noticed that some people are trying to scam the VIP meet and greets.
we
And
don't
I've
want
been
that.
nice to a few people, but that niceness is going away. And I know you're doing it. I have a system that proves I know you do it. And I have a big spreadsheet that I get every week from the VIP people. So I guess don't push the envelope because then you will be banned, period.
Now,
So
Ed, I don't even know why you bring that up because those people don't listen to this podcast. All right. We only have people with merit, honesty, and unbendable integrity.
I
All
know
right.
who listens to this podcast, and you're wrong.
Listen, bunch of fucking yahoos out there just
Just
like
I swear
me.
to God, it's like, come on, seriously?
All right.
Like, so
All right. Well, listen,
but that was the only business I had to do.
if you're out there doing that stuff, don't. Um, and
Yeah.
definitely if you're going to do it, don't wear your fans of motion shirt. Uh,
Josh said.
yeah. Um, and I can guarantee you, if someone ever comes up to you and said, Josh said,
Oh, I know better.
I probably didn't say it.
Because if you do say it, you call me and go, hey, just so you know, this guy called me and I
Yeah.
told him X.
I told him that if you bought tickets to the Praise Pavilion, you would give him a back rub. So get your little hand exercisers out and
I don't
start
think my
rubbing.
wife would appreciate that.
So, um, all
Seems like
right.
you even
Well,
rub my back. What the hell?
yeah. So, anyways, guys,
Yep.
listen, we got a lot of stuff coming up on future episodes of the podcast. Ed's going to jump on with me here every now and then. We'll talk about tour dates, all that good stuff. I've got some interviews in the can, some interviews coming up, some really good behind the scenes stuff. So, stick around, stick around. Edward,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for joining me,
Got it,
and
buddy. Time for me to go to
I
bed.
I don't know when I'm going to see you again. I'm skipping some shows. I'm definitely not making the cornfield tour with REO Speedwagon, so it may be Louis. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna do Louisville. So I don't know. You'll
Okay. Let me know.
I want to make you miss me, buddy.
Oh,
So all
you got a
right,
moment.
brother.
You got a
Well,
moment.
listen, Edward, tell
Hey,
everybody out
buddy.
there that you love them.
I love you. Be safe and come enjoy a show one day.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time. Later.